Recently, I wrote about the most important civic duty we have as American citizens, the duty to vote. You may be asking yourself, why should I consider jury duty the second most important civic duty? If we look at the preamble to the Constitution, we find the second reason we ordained that document was to establish justice. How can we establish justice if government is allowed to accuse and try without any checks and balances? Juries are meant to be that check and balance on the judicial branch. A legislature can pass a law. The executive branch can charge someone with violating that law. But with rare exceptions, a court cannot try the facts. Only a group of American citizens can. I was summoned for jury duty once. While waiting my turn to answer questions from the attorneys, a gentleman before me said he could not convict someone because the Bible said, "Judge not lest ye be judged." I really dislike it when people only quote part of a scripture to get what they want. I sat behind this man thinking, quote the rest of the phrase. Judge not that you be not judged, for with what judgment you judge, you will be judged, and with the measure you measure, it'll be measured back to you. I've always wondered, if that man were accused of a crime, would he want to be judged the same way he had judged in that case? Would he be happy with being judged by people who cannot be bothered to care about his case? Because the right of the accused to a jury trial, the right in a civil case to a jury trial, is about due process, protecting the rights of the individual accused. Americans' aversion to this civic responsibility has become so pronounced, there's even a joke about it. You're not judged by a jury of your peers, but by 12 people who couldn't get out of jury duty. I know, answering that jury summons is difficult. It's even worse if you get called to serve. Most of us have lives that demand most of our time. Who'll watch the children? Can I get time off from work? And, depending on the state you live in, the stipend you receive may not even cover your pay for an hour of work. Then there's a responsibility of sitting in judgment of another human being. It's an awesome responsibility, so I can understand why so many want to shirk it. So why should you give up your time, effort, and money to serve on a jury? Because one day, it may be you sitting at that defendant's table. Or maybe a friend or family member will be sitting there with their life in the balance. Imagine sitting there yourself. Maybe you've been arrested or served a lawsuit. You may be looking at jail time or financial ruin. You've also had to take time off, just like those jurors, but they don't have any skin in the outcome of this case like you do. Now imagine looking over at those jurors. Do you want to see 12 faces who couldn't care less, or worse, faces that are angry about being there? Do you want to see frustration or concern, boredom or engagement? As Jesus said in Matthew 7, you'll be judged as you have judged others. Think of that the next time the jury summons appears in the mail.